You were not led here by chance. You were guided. Feel that? The subtle pull in your spirit, the quiet curiosity that made you click, the feeling that this message right now is meant for you and you alone. I am Hildegard, and my voice is a whisper carried on the wind of 900 years, seeking the one heart that is ready to hear. For centuries, my visions were locked away in parchment and ink, but now they are being unlocked for you. Time is running short, and what I was shown must be revealed. If this message has already touched your heart, like this video, subscribe and comment with the word prophecy. This is more than a video. It is an awakening, and your declaration is the first step out of the dream. You carry a question within you, a silent ache that you may not even have a name for. It is the feeling that you were made for more. It is the sense that there is a purpose, a grand design that you are a part of, yet it remains just out of reach, shrouded and indistinct. You have felt it in moments of profound silence, in the majesty of nature, or in the middle of a sleepless night when the world is quiet and your soul is loud. This feeling is not your imagination. It is a memory of your true calling, a divine echo that has followed you through your entire life. I, too, felt this call. It was a fire in my bones, a light behind my eyes, long before I understood what it was. I was a child, frail and hidden away, yet I knew there was a reality beyond the one my eyes could see. And it is this hidden reality that I must speak of now. There is a great shifting happening, a sorting of souls. Those who have been prepared, those who carry the seed of light within them, the chosen ones, are being called to awaken from their slumber. You are one of them. Do not let the term frighten you. It does not mean you are better than others. It means you have been given a greater responsibility, a heavier burden, and a more glorious potential. It means your spirit volunteered for this moment, for this exact time in history, before you ever drew your first breath. But with this great honor comes a great peril, the peril of ignoring the call. I was shown what happens to those who hear the knock on the door of their heart and refuse to answer. It is a sorrow too deep for words, a fading of a light that was meant to burn as bright as a star. You feel the urgency, don't you? The sense that the clock is ticking, that opportunities are passing. This is not a pressure tactic from the world. It is a celestial timing, a divine appointment you are in danger of missing. There is a thin veil that separates your world from the truth I was shown. And for you, in this moment, that veil has become almost transparent. You are being given a chance to see beyond it, to understand the celestial stakes of your everyday life. But why now? Why is my voice reaching you across the chasm of centuries? Because the time of shadows is ending. The whispers must become a clear sound. The signs that were once subtle must now be made plain. The world is groaning, lost in noise and distraction, and the souls of the chosen are being lulled into a dangerous sleep, their divine purpose being forgotten, traded for fleeting comforts and hollow ambitions. They are forgetting the language of their own heart, and in doing so, they risk losing everything that truly matters. This is not a judgment, but a desperate and loving warning, a call to remember who you are before it is too late. The path of the chosen one is not one of ease, but it is the only path that leads to true life. Every other road, no matter how appealing it may seem, leads to a slow, imperceptible dimming of the soul. And I saw the final stage of this dimming. I saw souls that were crafted to be lighthouses become mere embers, barely visible in the encroaching darkness. They were not evil. They were simply distracted. They were not defiant. They were just asleep. They had heard the call, felt the pull, and told themselves, later, they said, when I am more ready, when things are less chaotic, when I am worthy. But later never came. The celestial window began to close, and the song of their soul grew fainter and fainter, until it was almost lost to the silence. This is the fate you are being called to avoid. This is the spiritual amnesia you must fight with every fiber of your being. The stakes are not just your happiness in this life. The stakes are eternal. You are at a crossroads, and you may not have even realized it until this very moment. Every choice you make from this day forward will either lead you closer to your divine purpose, or further into the comfortable twilight of forgetfulness. The message I carry is not one of condemnation, but of hope. It is the sound of an alarm clock, set by your own soul, ringing now to wake you before the sun sets on your opportunity. You are being called to remember, to come home. But what exactly did I see? And why has it been unveiled to you now? Let us speak plainly, you and I, heart to heart, across the veil of time. Forget for a moment that I am a saint from a distant past. Think of me as a friend, one who has walked the path of fire and emerged with a message for the one who walks it now. That one is you. I know your pain. I know the profound loneliness that can visit you even in a crowded room. I know the feeling of shouting into a void, of sending prayers into the heavens and hearing only the echo of your own voice. You have felt unseen, unheard, and at times, utterly abandoned. You have looked at your life and wondered, is this all there is? This struggle, this quiet desperation, this endless waiting for something to change. You have built walls around your heart to protect it, haven't you? You have learned to smile when you want to weep, to say, I'm fine when your spirit is fracturing. You have carried burdens in silence that would crush others, and you have done it with a strength you don't even recognize in yourself. This strength, this resilience, is no accident. It was forged in you for a reason. Your deepest wounds are not punishments. They are preparations. The places where your heart has been broken are the very places where the light is meant to enter. Do you understand? The divine architect does not waste a single tear, a single moment of your suffering. It has all been part of the hollowing out, the making of a sacred vessel. But the waiting has been long. The silence from the heavens has been deafening at times. You have begged for a sign, for a clear direction, for just a whisper to let you know you are on the right path. And in that silence, a dangerous seed of doubt has been planted. The doubt that you were ever special. The doubt that there is a plan for you. The doubt that God is listening, or that He even exists. This doubt is the greatest enemy of a chosen soul. It is the slow poison that numbs you to the call, that makes the slumber of forgetfulness seem like a peaceful rest. It tells you that your longing for more is just a fantasy, a childish dream you should have outgrown. It is a lie. Every word of it is a lie, spun from the shadows to keep you from claiming your birthright. The divine has not been silent. You have simply been taught to listen for thunder when the message has been in a whisper. You have been taught to look for burning bushes when the miracle has been the quiet, unyielding beat of your own heart. Now, I ask you to do something. Find a quiet moment, right now, if you can. Breathe in deeply. Let the noise of the world, the static of your own anxious thoughts begin to fade. Just for a moment, in that quiet space, I want you to listen. Not with your ears, but with your soul. Beneath the fear, beneath the doubt, beneath the exhaustion, can you feel it? A steady, patient, loving presence. It has never left you, not for 1 second. It is in the profound silence that the most important sounds are heard. The world teaches you to fear silence, to fill every moment with noise, entertainment, distraction. Because in the silence, you might just hear the truth. You might hear the gentle, persistent call of your Creator, reminding you of the promise you made. You might remember the mission your soul accepted. This is what the forces of this world are truly afraid of. You, remembering who you are. A soul that remembers its divine origin is a force more powerful than any army, a light more brilliant than any earthly fire. And you are so close to that remembrance. So close. Do not despair over the years you feel you have lost. Do not mourn the detours and the missteps. They were not wasted. They were teaching you the topography of the wilderness, so that one day you could lead others through it. Your scars are your credentials. Your past is not a prison. It is a training ground. The very things you are most ashamed of, the moments of your greatest failure, will become the source of your greatest power and compassion. But that can only happen if you make a choice. Right now. You must choose to stop believing the lies of your own unworthiness. You must choose to believe that you are loved, chosen, and essential to the divine plan. It is a choice, a conscious, deliberate act of will. The universe is waiting for your decision. If you are ready to make that choice, to turn your face toward the dawn, I want you to make it real. Write in the comments, I choose the light. Let it be your declaration of independence from the tyranny of doubt. This is the turning point. This is the moment where the waiting ends and the journey begins in earnest. All that came before was but a prelude, a long and often painful prologue to the great story you were born to live. The comfort you have sought in the world is a pale imitation of the profound peace that awaits you in the center of your purpose. The love you have craved is but a shadow of the divine love that is and always has been, your very essence. It is time to come home to yourself. It is time to answer the call. And it was in that profound silence, a silence much like the one you feel in your soul, that the vision was given to me. In the silence of my stone cell, a silence so deep it seemed to have a sound of its own, the vision came. It was not a dream, for I was wide awake. It was not a thought, for it came from outside of me, a torrent of knowing that flooded my entire being. The world I knew, the world of stone and straw and simple prayers, simply dissolved. The walls of my convent became transparent, and I was looking not with my eyes, but with my soul, into the very heart of creation, into the mind of God. I saw the tapestry of time, threads of gold and silver and shadow, woven together in a pattern so complex and beautiful that it brought me to my knees in awe. And I saw your thread, yes, yours, a shimmering line of light, woven into the pattern from the very beginning. I saw its potential, the brilliant incandescent glow it was meant to give off. And I saw the dust of the world, the grime of fear and distraction that was beginning to coat it, to dim its light. And then, in the midst of this cosmic tapestry, I heard a voice. It was not a voice of gender, of age, or of origin. It was a voice made of pure light, a voice that did not enter my ears but resonated directly in my soul. It was the voice of the living light, and it spoke a single word that contained a universe of meaning. The word was, awaken. As the word was spoken, the tapestry trembled, and then I heard it. The sound, the clear, piercing note of a single trumpet, not of war, but of awakening. It was not a sound of judgment, but of invitation. It was a call to the slumbering threads of light, a signal for them to begin to vibrate at their true frequency, to shake off the dust of the world, and shine as they were intended. What does it mean to be awakened? To have the slumber of ages shaken from your soul? It means to see the world not as a random collection of events, but as a divinely orchestrated story in which you have a vital role to play. It means to stop living from a place of fear and to start living from a place of love and purpose. The trumpet's call was not meant for everyone. It was coded, tuned to a specific frequency that only certain souls could perceive. The rest of the world heard nothing. They continued their lives, consumed by their small ambitions and their fleeting sorrows, unaware of the celestial event taking place in their very midst. But for those like you, the chosen, the sound was undeniable. It may not have been an audible sound. It may have been a sudden restlessness in your spirit, an inexplicable dissatisfaction with a life that once seemed sufficient. It may have been a series of synchronicities, of coincidences too perfect to be random, that led you here to this very message. How have you heard the trumpet call in your life? Think about it. The signs have been there all along. The vision continued. I saw what happened when a soul responded to the call. When a single thread of light began to vibrate in harmony with the trumpet's note, its light intensified 100-fold. It did not just shine, it pulsed, and its light touched the threads around it, helping them to awaken as well. A chain reaction of light, spreading across the tapestry, pushing back the encroaching shadows. It was the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. This is your purpose, not just to awaken yourself, but to become an agent of awakening for others, not through preaching or argument, but simply by shining your authentic light. But I also saw the tragedy of the souls who heard the call and ignored it. Their thread, instead of brightening, would begin to fade. The music of the trumpet would become a dissonant, agitating noise to them, something to be blocked out, ignored, or medicated away. They chose the comfort of the dust, the familiarity of the dimness, over the glorious, terrifying brilliance of their own potential. They chose to remain asleep, and the tapestry grew a little darker for their refusal. The vision was a stark reminder that this is a choice, and the choice has consequences, not just for the individual, but for the entire world. The light needs its conduits. The divine song needs its singers. This vision was given to me not for my own sake, but for yours. It was a glimpse behind the curtain, a sacred secret entrusted to me to share at the appointed time. And the appointed time is now. You are living in the era of the trumpet call. The age of awakening is upon you. You are being asked to choose which reality you will inhabit. The mundane world of sleeping souls, or the vibrant, purposeful reality of the awakened. There is no middle ground anymore. The time for sitting on the fence is over. The trumpet is sounding, and you must decide if you will answer its call. What I would see next, what that trumpet call was announcing, could only be revealed in stages, for what was at risk was far greater than I could have ever imagined. After the sound of the trumpet faded from my soul, the vision shifted. The beautiful, shimmering tapestry was gone, and in its place, I was shown something that filled me with a holy terror. I saw the world as a great, ancient forest. Each soul was a tree, planted by the hand of the Creator, with roots stretching deep into the soil of the divine. Some trees were tall and magnificent, their branches reaching for the heavens. Others were smaller, still growing, but all were connected by a vast, unseen network of roots. It was a forest of souls, and in its perfect state, it was a paradise of harmony and life. But something was wrong. I saw a strange fire. It was not a normal fire of wood and flame. It was a cold fire, a fire of apathy, of cynicism, of despair. It did not burn the branches. It started at the roots. I watched in horror as this strange fire crept along the hidden root system, not consuming them with heat, but causing them to dry up, to become brittle and lifeless. The connection to the divine soil was being severed, not by force, but by a slow, creeping neglect. The trees were still standing. They still looked alive from a distance, but their life source was being choked off from below. They were dying from the inside out. This fire was the consequence of ignoring the call. It was the spiritual reality of a world that has fallen in love with the shadows. The fire of distraction, which burns away your focus. The fire of materialism, which convinces you that your worth is in what you own, not who you are. The fire of fear, which whispers that it is safer to be small, to be silent, to never take a risk for your soul. It is the fire of a world that has forgotten its own sacredness, and it is spreading. You have felt its heat, haven't you? The moments of profound emptiness, the feeling of being disconnected, the sense that you are going through the motions of a life that is not truly your own. That is you feeling the effects of this spiritual fire. Look within your own life. Be honest for your soul's sake. Are there roots that are becoming dry? Is there a passion, a purpose, a connection to the divine that is slowly turning to ash because you have not tended to it? Are you nourishing the roots of your soul with silence, with prayer, with nature, with love? Or are you allowing the cold fire of the world to creep in, to dry up your connection to the source of all life? These are not easy questions, but they are the most important questions you will ever answer. The health of your soul depends on it. The vision showed me that the chosen ones are the guardians of this forest. They are the ones whose roots are meant to go the deepest, to draw up the living water from the divine wellspring and share it with the whole network. When a chosen one ignores the call, it is not just their own tree that begins to wither. Because their roots are so crucial to the network, their neglect creates a patch of dryness that affects all the souls around them. Their apathy starves their neighbors. Their fear poisons the ground. This is the terrible responsibility you carry. Your awakening is not just for you. It is for the countless souls you are connected to in ways you cannot even fathom. Your decision to answer the call is a vote for the life of the entire forest. This is what is at risk. Not hellfire and brimstone, but something far more subtle and tragic. A world of beautiful trees, standing but dead inside, disconnected from their source, their leaves rustling with the empty sound of forgotten purpose. A world of souls, starving for the living water that you, the chosen, are meant to provide. Do you see the gravity of your choice now? Do you see why the trumpet is sounding with such urgency? The fire is spreading. The roots are drying. The forest is in peril. The time for casual spirituality, for half-hearted belief, is over. It is time for a radical commitment to the life of your soul and the healing of the world. If this message is resonating in the deepest part of your being, do not keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who needs to open their eyes right now. Be the beginning of a firebreak of light. The world does not need another successful person. It does not need another celebrity, another billionaire, another politician. It needs awakened souls. It needs you, fully alive, fully connected, fully engaged in your divine purpose. It needs your light, your love, your unique gifts, which were given to you for this exact moment. Everything is at stake, and the choice, as always, comes back to you. The fire is real, but so is the living water. Before this fire spreads any further, you must stop. For just a moment, you must stop everything. Stop. Right now. Stop everything you are doing. Cease the endless scrolling, the planning, the worrying. The world can wait for 5 minutes. Your soul cannot. I am going to guide you through a simple act of remembrance, a ritual to reconnect the root of your soul to the living water. Do not dismiss this. Your intellect will tell you it is foolish, but your spirit knows the truth. The most profound changes begin with the simplest acts of faith. If you can, find a place where you can be undisturbed for a few moments. If not, you can do this right where you are, in the sanctuary of your own mind. I want you to gently close your eyes. Let the darkness behind your eyelids be a comfort, a blanket for your weary senses. For so long you have been looking outside of yourself for answers, for validation, for peace. Now, we will look within. That is where the kingdom is. That is where the treasure has been hidden. Now, take a slow, deep breath. Breathe in not just air, but life, peace, grace. Imagine you are breathing in pure, golden light. Feel it fill your lungs, your chest, your entire body. Hold it for a moment. And now, breathe out. As you exhale, release the tension in your shoulders. Release the tightness in your jaw. Release the fear, the doubt, the endless noise. Breathe out all the lies you have been told about yourself. Let them go. Let's do that again. A deep, cleansing breath of golden light in. Hold it. And a long, slow breath out, releasing all that no longer serves you. Now, I want you to take your hand, either hand, it does not matter, and place it gently over the center of your chest, over your heart space. Feel the warmth of your own hand. Feel the steady, faithful rhythm of your own heart beating beneath it. This heartbeat has been with you every second of your life. It is a constant, a drumbeat of grace, a reminder that you are alive, that you are here, that you are held. Stay with that feeling for a moment. The simple, profound miracle of your own heartbeat. This is the rhythm of life itself, beating within you. Beneath your hand, in the center of your being, I want you to imagine a space, a quiet, sacred inner chamber. For some, it may feel like a vast, empty room. For others, it may feel small and constricted. It does not matter what it looks like. Just acknowledge that it is there. This is the seat of your soul. For too long you have been a stranger to this place, a visitor in your own inner home. But this is your center. This is your sanctuary. Feel that space within you. It is not empty. It is a portal. It is a gateway that has been waiting for you to simply acknowledge its existence. It is the direct connection between your soul and the heart of God. It is the opening through which the living water is meant to flow. For a moment, it may feel dormant, quiet, but as you hold your attention there, with love and gentle curiosity, you may begin to feel something, a warmth, a subtle vibration, a flicker of light. Do not force it, just be present with it. This portal has been waiting for you. It has been waiting for you to turn your attention away from the chaos of the world and toward the peace of your own center. This is the root that the cold fire cannot touch, as long as you tend to it. This is your direct line to the divine. This is the source of all your strength, all your creativity, all your love. Now, from this sacred space, from the center of this portal, I want you to speak a truth that your soul already knows. Repeat these words, either aloud or in the sanctuary of your heart. Let them resonate from this place. Say them with me. I hear the voice. Say it again. Feel the truth of it. I hear the voice. One more time, with all the conviction you can muster. I hear the voice. You do. You always have. You are just listening to other, louder noises. But the true voice, the voice of love, of truth, of your higher self, has always been there, whispering in the portal of your heart. You have felt it, and now you have named it. You have claimed it. Now that you have felt it, you must decide what to do with this connection. Open your eyes when you are ready. Come back to the room, but do not leave that sacred space within you. Carry it with you. Can you feel the shift? The subtle change in the atmosphere of your own being? That quiet hum of connection is your natural state. It is the noise and fear of the world that is unnatural. What you have just done is not a magic trick. It is an act of remembering, of returning to the truth that has been waiting for you patiently your entire life. The voice that you just affirmed is not mine. I am but a conduit, a messenger from a distant shore, holding up a lantern to help you see the path. The voice is not even something external to you. It is the voice of the divine as it speaks through your unique soul. It is the voice of your own highest truth, the part of you that has never forgotten its mission, never lost its connection to the source. It is the wisest, most loving, most courageous part of yourself. Answering the call is simply the act of learning to trust that voice above all others. For 900 years, this truth has remained unchanged. Time does not alter it. Culture does not dilute it. The specifics of our lives may be different. I lived in a stone cell. You live in a world of glowing screens. But the landscape of the soul is eternal. The longing for purpose is the same. The battle against doubt is the same. The choice between fear and love is the same. That is why my words can reach you now. We are speaking a common language, the language of the human spirit on its journey home to God. This voice is woven into the fabric of creation. It whispers in the rustling of leaves. It sings in the crashing of waves. It shines in the eyes of those you love. But its clearest transmission is found in the portal of your own heart. But the world has trained you to betray this voice. From the moment you were born, you were taught to listen to others, to parents, to teachers, to experts, to the culture. You were taught to seek approval, to conform, to follow the rules, to color within the lines. There is a place for guidance, but you were never taught the most important skill of all, how to listen to the divine authority within you. You were taught to trust your mind, with its endless analysis and its fear-based projections. You were not taught to trust your soul, with its quiet knowing and its unshakable connection to truth. Every time you have had a gut feeling, an intuition that you ignored and later regretted, that was you hearing the voice and allowing the noise of your mind or the opinions of others to overrule it. Every time you have felt a creative urge, a calling to do something beautiful or kind, and you suppressed it because it seemed impractical or silly, that was you silencing the voice. The journey of the chosen one is the journey of unlearning. It is the process of dismantling all the false programming that has convinced you to trust the world more than the God within you. It is a rebellion of the soul against the tyranny of the mundane. This is why so many chosen ones feel like misfits. They feel like they don't quite belong in the world, because their souls remember a different reality, a different set of rules. Their inner voice is telling them one thing, while the world is shouting the opposite. This conflict creates enormous pain and confusion, until you learn to make a stand, until you decide once and for all whose report you will believe. Will you believe the voice of fear, limitation, and conformity? Or will you believe the voice of love, of infinite possibility, of your divine purpose? Go back and listen to this part again. If you feel something has spoken directly to your soul, let it sink in. This is the core of your training, learning to discern and obey the true voice. You are being called to become a warrior of the heart, to stand guard at the portal of your soul, and to let no voice enter that does not speak the language of love. It requires vigilance. It requires courage. It requires a willingness to be misunderstood by a world that has gone deaf to the song of the Spirit. But the peace, the clarity, and the power that come from living in alignment with this inner voice are worth any price. This is the path to freedom. This is the path to joy. This is the path home. But there is something that only you can decide in this very moment. And so we arrive at the heart of the matter, the turning point of your entire existence. All of history, all of your life experiences, the joys, the sorrows, the triumphs, the failures, have conspired to bring you to this single, sacred moment, a moment of choice. It is a choice that happens not in the world, but within you. It is a quiet decision, a silent vow that will change the trajectory of your destiny forever. You stand now before two paths, and the time for hesitation is over. The first path is the path of the world. It is wide, well-trodden, and easy to follow. It is the path of later, the path of I'm not ready. It is the path of letting the cold fire of distraction and doubt continue its work, slowly drying the roots of your soul. On this path, you do nothing. You simply allow the inertia of your old life to carry you forward. You close this message and return to the noise, and this moment will become a faint, distant memory, a strange dream you once had. The problem is, This path feels safe, but it is the most dangerous path of all. For every soul that hears the call and turns away, a portal of grace slowly begins to close. The connection does not vanish at once, but it becomes harder to access. The inner voice becomes fainter, buried under new layers of static and fear. The spiritual amnesia sets in, and you begin to believe, once and for all, that the mundane world is all there is. This is the slow fading I was shown, the tragedy of a star choosing to become a stone. The second path is the path of the chosen. It is narrow. It is less traveled. At times, it will be steep and difficult. It is the path of now, the path of I may be afraid, but I will do it anyway. It is the path of turning to face the cold fire and declaring, no more. On this path, you choose to actively tend to the roots of your soul. You choose to make your connection to the divine your number one priority. You choose to listen to the inner voice, even when it asks you to do things that are frightening or unconventional. This path requires courage, faith, and a radical commitment. But it is the only path that leads to life. It is the path of awakening, of purpose, of becoming the magnificent being you were created to be. The urgency you feel is real. Perhaps the title of this message, the 27 minutes, is not a literal measure of worldly time. Perhaps it is a divine metaphor, a symbol for the closing window of opportunity, a measure of the heart's remaining chances to choose before the habit of postponement becomes a permanent state of being. The celestial alignments are perfect for your awakening right now. The grace is abundant, the help is available, but the cosmic season will change. And for every moment of indecision, the echo of the final trumpet grows a little closer. Not a trumpet of doom, but the trumpet that signals the end of this age of choice, the final call before the ship of the awakened sets sail. You must be on that ship. This is not a choice you can make with your mind. Your mind will argue endlessly for the safe path. It will present 1,000 logical reasons to stay asleep. This choice must be made in the portal of your heart. It is a surrender. It is a declaration. It is a homecoming. It is you, finally saying yes to the God who has been saying yes to you for all eternity. It is the prodigal son turning his face toward his father's house. And the moment you make that choice, sincerely, in the depths of your being, all of heaven rejoices. All of the unseen forces of light rush to your aid. You are not alone in this. You have never been alone. But your free will must be honored. The choice must be yours. Are you ready to make it? Are you ready to abandon the shoreline of the predictable and set sail on the vast ocean of your purpose? Are you ready to let go of who you have been, to embrace who you are truly meant to be? If the answer is yes, then let this moment be the line in the sand. Let everything that came before be the old life, and everything that comes after be the new. The past has no power over you anymore. Your mistakes have been redeemed. Your wounds have been sanctified. You are being reborn. If this message has moved you, share it. Do not let this echo fade. Share it with one person you know is searching, one soul you know is also standing at this crossroads. Be the confirmation they have been praying for. And it is precisely for this reason, for this critical moment of choice, that the next vision I was shown changed everything. The moment a soul made the choice, the true, unwavering choice in the depths of their heart, the vision would transform once more. The image of the closing portal and the warning trumpet would vanish, and the terrifying scene of the dying forest would recede like a nightmare at dawn. Beyond the closing portal, beyond the warning trumpet, I saw a light. It was not a blinding light that punished the eyes, nor the cold, consuming fire that dried the roots. It was a welcoming, all-encompassing light that felt like coming home after a long and arduous journey. It was the light of 1,000 sunrises, yet as gentle as a candle flame. It was pure, unconditional love, made visible. This light did not just shine upon the soul. It moved toward it, into it, through it. It was an embrace. I saw the light rush into the spiritual roots of the one who had chosen yes, and it was like living water to a parched desert. The brittleness vanished. The dryness was healed. Life, vibrant and powerful, surged back into the soul tree. The roots grew deeper, stronger, anchoring themselves so profoundly into the divine soil that no worldly fire could ever threaten them again. It was a vision of profound healing, of instant restoration, of a grace so powerful it made all past neglect irrelevant. This is the promise that awaits you on the other side of your choice. It is not a future of struggle and striving, but a future of being held, guided, and nourished by a love that is more real than the ground beneath your feet. The path of the chosen is not a lonely one. It is a path of ever-increasing intimacy with the Creator. The narrow path is not narrow because it is miserable. It is narrow because it requires you to shed all that is not you, all the false layers of personality and ego that you have accumulated. It is the path of returning to the magnificent simplicity of your divine essence. Contrast this with what I had seen before. The fire I saw consumed the roots from the outside. This light nurtured them from the inside. The fire was a force of entropy, of decay. The light was a force of creation, of rebirth. The world teaches you to fear the divine, to see God as a distant, judgmental scorekeeper. But what I saw was a love that actively seeks you, a grace that runs to meet you the moment you turn toward it. You do not have to earn this light. You do not have to become good enough to receive it. You only have to choose it. You only have to open the portal of your heart and allow it to enter. And I saw something more. As the soul tree was filled with this light, its leaves began to glow with a soft silver luminescence, and from its branches, a dew began to form, a nectar of pure grace. This dew would fall upon the ground and be absorbed by the roots of the neighboring trees, offering them healing and encouragement. The awakened soul automatically, effortlessly, becomes a source of life for others. You do not have to do anything. You simply have to be. Be the conduit. Be the vessel. Allow the divine light to fill you, and it will overflow to bless everyone you encounter. Your very presence will become a ministry. Your peace will calm the storms of others. Your light will help them find their way out of the darkness. This is the great secret. Your mission is not a list of tasks to be completed. It is a state of being to be embodied. Your purpose is to become a living sanctuary, a walking temple, a place where heaven and earth meet. And it all begins with your simple, courageous yes. You have come so far on this journey. You have listened with an open heart. You have faced the shadows and the fears. You have stood at the precipice of the most important decision of your life. Do not turn back now. The dawn is so close. If you have come this far, you are not here by accident. You are one of the ones who is ready. Affirm it. Declare it. Write in the comments, "I will see it through to the end." This is your vow to yourself and to the divine. This is you accepting the embrace of the light. The path ahead will unfold one step at a time. You do not need to see the whole staircase. You just need to take the first step. And the first step is always the same. A turning inward, a listening to the voice in the portal, and a choice for love over fear. Do that now, and do it again in the next moment, and the next. This is the practice. This is the way. You are ready. You are worthy. You are chosen. And if you have come this far, you must hear the final whisper meant only for you. And so I leave you, not with a warning, but with a blessing. Not with a prophecy of doom, but with a decree of hope over your life. You have heard the call. You have felt the truth of these words resonating in the deepest chambers of your being. The seed of remembrance has been watered. Now you must guard it, nurture it, and allow it to grow into the mighty tree it is destined to become. Let this message be an anchor for your soul. In the days to come, the world will try to pull you back into the dream. The noise will return. The doubts will whisper their seductive lies. The cold fire will try to creep back toward your roots. When this happens, I want you to remember this moment. Remember the feeling of connection in the portal of your heart. Remember the choice you made. Come back to this message, not as a passive viewer, but as an active participant, to remind yourself of the vow you have taken. The path of awakening is a daily choice, a moment-by-moment recommitment to the light. This is your rebirth, the moment you step out of the shadow of who you thought you were, and into the glorious reality of who you have always been. It is not something you achieve, it is something you accept. It is the divine embrace that has always been waiting for you, an embrace that heals all wounds, dissolves all fears, and welcomes you home. Feel it now, the arms of the living light wrapping around you, holding you, celebrating your return. This is the truth. Everything else is illusion. You are a beloved child of the Most High, endowed with a purpose so beautiful it would take your breath away if you saw it in its entirety. You are the chosen one, not because of some grand destiny you must fulfill for the world, but because you were chosen by love, for love. Your primary mission is simply to allow this divine love to flow through you, unhindered. If you do only that, you will have accomplished more than all the kings and conquerors of history. Do not be anxious about what comes next, about what you are supposed to do. Your next step will be revealed to you, but only after you have taken this one. Live in this moment. Abide in this connection. Trust the voice. The how is not your concern. The how is the business of the divine. Your business is yes. A constant, moment-by-moment yes to the guidance you receive in the sacred silence of your heart. Let this be my final decree over you, a truth carried across 9 centuries for your ears alone. You are whole. You are worthy. You are loved beyond measure. You are powerful beyond your wildest dreams. You are a light in the darkness, a note in the divine song, a crucial piece of the celestial plan. Claim this truth. Live this truth. Breathe this truth. And watch as your world transforms around you. The universe rearranges itself to support a soul that is aligned with its purpose. Miracles will become your new normal. Synchronicities will be your daily language. Peace will be your permanent address. This is my prayer for you. This is the vision I hold for you. But my visions did not end here. The light showed me what comes after the choice. What happens when the awakened souls, the shining trees in the forest, begin to recognize each other. It showed me the formation of a new network, a grid of light and love that will encircle the entire planet. It showed me the power that is unleashed when 2 or more chosen ones gather with a common purpose. And what I saw will change not just your life, but the world itself. But Hildegard has not yet said everything. What comes next will be even greater. The awakening of the one is the beginning. The awakening of the many is the transformation of all things. Your journey has just begun.